And welcome back to the Metal Hand of God podcast. I am your host, Wayne, and over there,
Sick Rick,
is Sick Rick, the newest member of the most dangerous podcast in the world. Right? That's good. We're the dangerous in the world.
I'm the newest member.
Well, you're Sick Rick.
Oh, well,
I meant like you're an add-on. You know, you're somebody else is what I meant.
Like previously.
Yeah. Rick Hondo.
Yeah.
You did use that a couple times.
Did I?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the very beginning of the show.
Yeah. I wonder what that says about my personality that I invent all these, because this isn't new. This isn't something that I started with the show. I did this like in my teens. I would come up with silly names, some of which I actually thought were cool. One of them was Zane. I thought it would be cool if I was named Zane.
Why?
I don't know, because I was 17.
Zane.
I've always hated my name.
Zane. Why? What's wrong with that?
I don't know. Maybe it's a reflection of my inner dislike of myself.
That's possible. It is possible.
But yeah, this isn't anything new.
That sucks.
Therapy. I should talk to them about that. Like, I'm always
You should
trying to be someone other than me.
Well, this is kind of therapy.
Yeah, but I don't get any answers out of it. I just rant.
Well, true.
Anyway, so this is our 350th episode.
It is. I can't believe we're up to 350. And, well, Rum can't be here because we're kind of recording it on a weird day.
Mm-hmm.
And neither could Kyle because it's his birthday today, actually.
He probably could have recorded, but just didn't want to.
Who's that?
Kyle.
Oh, well, yeah, but I don't know. I just said, hey, if you can, come out. If you can't, I understand. No big deal.
Just giving him shit.
You got to give him shit. Give him shit. And then Kevin, of course, he'll never be able to fill the shoes of Mart or Jack Locke because, I mean, look, we're at 350 and he still can't show up.
Yeah.
Not that I asked him or anything. I'm just saying.
We were actually supposed to have Jack Locke on, and we kind of forgot to schedule him. And we actually kind of forgot that this was going to, I thought it was later in the month. We're bad at that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Dude, another 50 is not that far away.
Yeah, we actually have to do something bigger for the 400 episode.
I agree.
Because we skipped 300 totally. No, we didn't skip it.
We didn't skip it. We did it. We just didn't do anything, exciting for it.
Yeah.
But 400 will be pretty big. And when we hit 500, yeah.
When we hit 500, everyone gets laid.
Yeah!
We will have a live sex show on MHOG.
Yes. It'll be donkeys.
Gary and Mart.
What?
Gary and Mart will have live sex on the show.
Okay.
Because it's 500, so Mart's got to come to town and Gary's got to fuck him.
All right, that sounds like a plan. I think we have a plan for this. And then we have to go find a midget to run around like in bondage gear and hit them in the back with whips.
We really do need a midget friend because we had discussed a while ago. I had an incredible idea for a show involving a midget.
I'm down. Let's do it. I remember what you said.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if you remembered.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. It's amazing.
I just remembered the other day. But the problem is, there's not a lot of midgets. Or at least, I don't know.
There are.
Well, population-wise, there aren't.
True.
I wish we knew, fucking Willow. I can't think of his name. Fucking Willow.
What was Willow? God damn it.
I can picture his face, too.
Yeah, because he's in all kind of shit. He's in fucking Harry Potter. He's the fucking, he's the leprechaun. He played Wicket in Star Wars.
Willow. Bad mortar.
Yeah, bad mortar.
Is Willow the most common mentioned movie on this show?
I think so. Between that and Billy Pond's movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Willow's been mentioned more times than Billy Pond's movie.
Probably.
It's been around longer.
True.
Any regrets over 350 episodes?
No. The only regret is that we're not further along than I wanted to be.
Why, you wanted to be at 500 already?
No, I mean like as in like echelon wise, like where we're at.
Well, we can't control that. I mean, all we can do is put it out there and try and get it out to the people, and people is either listen or they don't. And, it's a pretty specific show. It takes a certain type of taste, and for whatever reason, the people who would love the show aren't really. I mean, let me rephrase that. We have people who love the show who do listen. I don't want anybody to. I sometimes I feel like I'm talking about our listeners as if I'm a cell phone company. Like, I know you listen. I mean, thanks. I appreciate you listening, but what about all those other people who aren't listening?
Yeah, I mean, we do. We appreciate every single one of you people who listen. I really do.
99% of you. That one guy, you know who the fuck you are.
That's right.
And I want it back in my car, by the way. I expect it. Like, I appreciate that you're a fan, but that's fucked up, dude.
Your wiener?
What?
Huh?
Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, so no regrets?
I really, dude. I really don't. I really, there's very few. I wish we had better audio when we first started. That's probably the only regret with that, because the audio really fucked with us a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when we had our first few guests, like we were still fucking virgins basically, and we're getting these fucking guests, and I'm like, man, we some shitty ass audio going on here, I
mean, the problem is our audio is always going to be a little half-assed, and that's just because we use Skype. And
right.
Sometimes I talk to other podcasters, and sometimes they're like, well, what you need, you have to have Ace Audio, and it's like, well, do you deal with like talking to somebody online? Because
right, it's completely different when everybody can come into your studio.
And as I always point out,
completely,
if you go listen to any major podcast, whenever they have a guest that has to call in or Skype in, it sounds like shit.
It's complete butt.
Even if like you have a guest that has like a complete setup, like if it's another podcast or something like that.
Right.
It doesn't sound like, it doesn't always sound like ass, but it's just not. I
mean, we've had guests that actually had decent setups on microphones and stuff, and it does sound better, but you do have the risk of it still cutting out and clipping and all that shit, because, I mean, you can't control Skype or, Hangouts or whatever you use to do the interview. I mean, even the phone call, iPhones and shit, they still, sound shitty.
That's the thing that I don't understand is like why, like if somebody calls in to record, like I don't understand. We have cell phone technology. Why doesn't it interface directly?
Yeah.
Like it always amazes me like how much we can do technologically, but then simple things
like make phone calls suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
this episode is gonna be probably a quick one.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, like 45 minutes by quick. Not like the hour and a half ones.
See, what's happening is Wayne's hungry.
No, it's not that. It's not. It's an odd day to record, so I got shit to do besides this. I got to take care of the baby and do things like that. So I gotta be daddy.
Well, I
gotta be daddy, man. I can't help it.
You can be daddy.
Go
get a little tyke.
You like when you call me daddy. It's nice.
I've never called you daddy before.
You just did.
And I never will again.
Do it again. Come on.
Fuck you.
Daddy. Say it. Oh, yeah. So anyway, thanks everybody for listening for 350 episodes. And if you haven't listened the entire time, that's fine. We didn't really start getting good till about 80. So
I don't think that's true. I think we got some damn fine episodes.
I'm completely joking, man. I'm completely joking.
I mean, whether or not you can stay listening to the audio is another.
Right. All right. I put it this way: the sound quality got better around I'd say probably around between 50 and 80 is when it started getting better. It's when we started getting more equipment and learning different things.
Right.
Before it was just a stick microphone that you got out of the fucking that you plugged into the computer.
Yeah.
And it was straight too. We didn't really do any editing.
I mean, I did.
No, I mean like editing like the what you call it? Like we did a lot of get rid of the ums and uhs and some of the bad words that we now say. We don't give a fuck anymore. But, before we kind of edited a lot of things like that out. But, I mean, it was like a long, tedious edit when we did edit.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense at all. I have no idea.
Right.
But, all right, well, let's get into some of these 400. No, not 400. What am I talking about? 350 episode questions.
Doing numbers.
Uh-huh. What about soup and numbers?
I said, what is it with you and numbers?
I don't know. I'm always getting shit fucked up. I don't know. Maybe it's my Alzheimer's. Maybe it's my fucking...
Diabetes?
Diabetes. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. No idea. I do have one regret, though. I wish we could get more people involved.
What do you mean?
Like we have all these people that are involved in the show, but I'd like to have them on more frequently, And I know time is, hard for everybody, but I'm just saying that's the one thing is like, it would be cool to have more people, not as guests, but just, that are part of our show that just come on more often. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
That's about it, really. Do you have any regrets for the show besides being on it?
I don't know. Your face.
Fuck you.
No, I don't know. I know. I got one. Out of 350 episodes, what was your favorite guest? Out of 300, I know who your least favorite guest is, but I'm not going to mention who that is, and we're going to go into who was one of your favorites. Because you're planning on having that person on again?
Yeah. Who was one of your favorites?
Fuck it. Most of our guests don't listen to the show. I actually hate most of our guests. Like, not hate. I just hate having guests. Like, sometimes we'll have guests on. They're cool, and you can tell, Yeah. The only guests that I really like are the ones that actually end up sticking around. You know?
Yeah.
Like all the other ones, like I don't know. It's I just like honestly.
You see, but the thing is, we're a talk show.
If I could do this show without ever bringing guests on, I'd be so much happier because I think the show's better when we don't have guests.
I disagree. I mean, I think it's good when we don't have guests. I don't think it's bad. I just say it. I think it's equal when we have guests. Well, depending on the guest, of course.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not talking shit about everyone who's ever been a guest on this show. I'm just saying
you prefer not. You prefer not to talk to people.
Guests that come on, I'm just not that into it. Like,
well, it's also it's you know what this goes to me. This goes back to your social anxiety thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like you don't want to talk to somebody new.
No, not necessarily that. I mean, it's just that. Like, look, if somebody comes on and they're awesome, cool. But when they're not, it's like, oh fuck, no.
I'll put it this way: there have been guests where it's really difficult to talk to them, and it's not because they're bad people or assholes or anything like that. It's because it's hard to. It's almost like they don't know how to make a conversation. They're expecting you to ask just questions and their answers. Well, we're not that kind of show. We like to actually talk to people. That's
the problem, is we're not really like an interview show.
Right. We're kind of like, hey, you're on the show. Let's knock out your stuff that's about you and sit around and just bullshit with us.
But the thing is, like, most of the people that are coming on the show, like, I know they all say, oh yeah, no, I love the show. Like, it's largely bullshit. It's largely bullshit. People, because that's what people do. But like, they think they're coming on to like just another like Q&A. Like, oh, the person's gonna interview me and I'm gonna talk about my influences. And I just don't give a shit about any of that stuff. I just think I don't know. I like it when people are real.
Right.
And like a lot of the band shit, and it's not just bands, obviously, but a lot of that shit, like, it's so like rehearsed and stuff like that, and everybody does it and whatever. But I don't know. If the show's not moving and it's not like entertaining, then I like it just affects me as far as energy. And
yeah, well, we are definitely not the interview Q&A. And if anyone who's a guest or has been a guest or will be a guest, listen to our shows with our guests, please.
Well, if they don't listen to the show, they're not going to hear that.
I'm just saying, do a little bit of research. That's all we ask.
I mean, that's always advisable. Like I'm always interested in the people who agree to go on shows and like just clearly have no idea what's going on. It's like, you didn't think maybe you should check it out and find out what kind of person you're dealing with.
Right, because I mean, you're gonna come on and we're gonna drop fucking shit and you're gonna freak out and but that's who we are. I mean, you got to look at our shows and see that, we definitely will let you get your stuff across. We'll do. Actually, we have a guest that's going to return pretty soon. One of my favorites, because it was funny. One of the characters that Adam did came from this guest. Dave Pollitt we're talking to getting back on the show, the painter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. I hit him up because he was doing some new paintings and stuff, and the first thing he said was, "Yeah, dude, you guys are fucking a blast. I can't wait to do it again." So,
yeah, he was cool.
And then
his old lady. Yeah.
Hi, Dave. That guy came out of that show.
Mike.
Yes, Mike.
Yeah.
He's probably the most hated character you do by me.
Yeah, by you and Rome.
Yeah, I fucking hate that. Everybody loves it.
I don't think we had any listeners who hated it.
No, the listeners love that shit because they know it gets under our skin, and we're like, oh, shut the fuck up. They like that shit. But so there's many good things that come out of having guests. I enjoy having guests. I like talking to different people.
That having guests in general is terrible, like in that, or let me rephrase that. I'm not saying that every guest that we've had come out of it has been terrible. Just like most of them, and there's been episodes, not many, but there's been a few episodes where I was like, how are we even going to release this? This is ridiculous.
And they turn out okay.
Most of them do. Not all of them.
It's just that at the point when the time when you're recording it and you're doing it, you're going, Jesus Christ, this is like a train wreck. But then when you go back and listen to it and you cut out the pauses and stuff, it kind of edits, it flows better.
Right. And look, like I said, the bottom line is I just think the show's at its best when it's just us,
Right.
Me, and sometimes us isn't just me, you, and Rum and Kyle.
No, there's a bunch of us out there. And that's what I was saying. I wish more time would be able them to come on the show is what I meant.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's talk about...
sex, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so there was an article that I saw on the
fucked on 500, yes, baby.
The intranet. And the intranet, of course, has a lot of fake bullshit on it. And I believe this is probably a fake article. But I found it funny and very interesting that if it's not a fake article, holy shit. There was a mortician, I forget exactly where the mortician was from, but and she decides what I said that she has a baby, right? She has a baby for a dead man. But that's not out of the ordinary. I mean, some people do have babies for dead people. Like say the guy got in a car wreck, she was pregnant, and he died. It's things happen. Well, this woman, she gave birth to a dead person's baby. But the dead person was actually one of her bodies that they pulled into the morgue.
Pine Farr corpse.
Yeah, right. So basically, this woman not only fucked a dead person, but supposedly he had a little bit of that magic potion still left in his wand, I guess you could say, and flung it in her.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really believe it. I mean, I know, you can still have an erection after you die. It's like rigor mortis or something like that.
Correct. But
I mean, I guess theoretically there could be some left in the chamber, but I just don't feel like they would still be alive by the time she got the
I don't know the life cycle. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know how long. I know sperm can survive like 8 hours outside of the body.
Yeah, but I mean, the blood wouldn't be pumping. I don't know.
Correct.
This is very likely bullshit.
Oh yeah, but it comes from Kansas City, Missouri.
What does that mean?
I remember because I said I didn't remember where it was from, but I just looked up the article. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty fucked up. I mean,
Yes.
I don't understand. I mean, but I know, not personally, I've heard stories about people who actually fuck dead people.
There's people who were fucking and somebody died. Was it?
I actually have a friend who will remain nameless who is not into fucking dead people.
Gary.
But into like the role play.
Mart.
Like you'll tell his girlfriend to just lay there, like pretend she's dead. Like actually got to the point where the girlfriend was into it so much that she would like go get ice and ice her body down so she would actually be cold. Yeah.
And she does this?
She did. She doesn't anymore. The girl, I don't know. I haven't talked to the guy in like 10 years, so it's pretty fucking weird, right? I guess it's better than going to the fucking morgue and fucking a dead person.
Not really. I don't know. I would suggest that person go and seek therapy because I don't know. I mean, look, we all got weird shit. Obviously, I obviously am into some pretty weird shit, sexually. And sometimes you ever find yourself watching something online and you're just like, holy fuck, like if I died right now and somebody found this shit.
They'd be like, what in the fuck is wrong with him?
Or, I also know that like the NSA and all that keep tabs on everything you look at. And I'm like, I mean, none of it's illegal. Like I'm not, okay. I'm not into child pornography, but I am into shit like, like somebody who's pretending to be a teenager fucking their stepmom.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I think most heterosexual men are okay with that.
Yeah, but technically speaking, like if you search that, it falls under incest. It's not.
Right.
So sometimes I just wonder. I'm like, like what if I pissed the wrong person off, and they're like, we're gonna put a case. I don't know. I'm paranoid, but But anyway, but all the shit that I'm into, like, all right, like I'm into like kid fucks his stepmom, whatever. But I'm not actually into child pornography.
Right.
If I was, I'd be like, maybe I should seek therapy. I feel like if you're into things where you're pretending that your girlfriend's dead, I feel like you should probably, look into that and make sure.
I don't think it's anything different.
You don't?
No, I really don't. I mean, it's just whoever's kink is whatever somebody's kink is, dude. People like getting beat. They like watching their wives fuck other men. People like pretending that, of age people are little schoolgirls. I mean, it's all fantasy.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how into it you are, though. I don't know. I just feel like, like you mentioned, like some people are getting beat, like if the person's beating on you, maybe that's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it's
right.
It's terrible to me, but like if you're into autoerotic if you're into asphyxiation, that can get dangerous.
Yeah, yeah.
Like much. I'm down for fake choking, like the thing where you put your the center of your hand between your thumb and your finger like is on her throat, but like you can't actually choke. I mean, I guess if you really tried, maybe you could choke somebody that way, but it's just very unlikely because of the way your hand's spaced, Yeah. Like if you're willing to choke somebody, you put your thumb over their throat.
Right, correct. But, now that you described how to kill someone on the air, awesome.
I think people can figure it out. They got. Anyway, I'm just saying, like, there's certain, if I had any kinks where I was like worried, like, what does this mean about me? Why, if I was into like snuff films,
right.
I feel like, you know what? Or maybe, I guess if I was into it, maybe I wouldn't think I need
exactly.
Therapy. But I feel like if I found out you were into snuff films, I'd be like, look, we need to work this out, man, because I don't want you to snuff anybody.
Well, I mean, I do like those kind of films. I'm not like, I've never seen a real one, but, I like horror movies.
Yeah, but a horror movie and a snuff film are not the same thing.
There's no real no real proof that those actually exist.
You don't think there are movies out there of people like raping women and murdering them?
Oh, I never said I don't think they are. I just said there's no real proof that any of them really exist. Look, you're talking to the guy who believes in aliens and ghosts, so it's okay. I believe in those too.
Speaking of which, that's an interesting segue. So Mart posted an article online from the UK Independent. I don't remember some professor of science. He's a physicist named Brian Cox. He has a podcast, and apparently he works with CERN. And he claims that the Large Hadron Collider has proved that ghosts do not exist because the Large Hadron Collider would have found it by now, or would have found evidence.
Okay.
So,
no idea what that is.
The Large Hadron Collider?
Yes.
It's the largest particle accelerator in the world.
Okay.
It's in Switzerland. The thing's massive. And when they were, I think it was like in the early 2000s they built it. Don't quote me on that. I don't really remember. But I do recall them talking about, it was sort of a Y2K thing. Like there was a bit of paranoia around it. Basically, there were people saying that scientists had no idea what would happen when they turned on this, because it's a particle accelerator so powerful they had no idea what would happen when they turned it on.
Right.
Or some people saying like it would like stop the universe from existing. I mean, that's obviously retarded, but yeah, like they were like, we don't know what's going to happen. We turned it on. They turned it on and nothing happened.
It was just like, hey, here it is.
If you ever heard, have you heard of the God particle?
No.
I want to say it's the thing that's like the smallest subatomic particle in existence, and like they found it with the Large Hadron Collider. I forget what it's not actually called the God particle. It's just what they call it.
I got you.
It's just a nickname for it.
Oh God, you devil!
But I don't know. Like I was reading the article and I was like, I'm like I've talked about this on the show before. Like I'm all for scientific method and discovery, but I really hate scientists. I think there's too many of them that want to be famous and just like put shit out there and just like, yeah, we discovered this, and then you find out later like, oh no, they didn't prove this at all. They just said it, like, now don't get me wrong, I don't even believe in ghosts. We've discussed this. Like I think maybe like there is a possibility of like psychic impressions left in the universe and stuff like that. But the idea that the afterlife exists on this plane of existence, that just seems silly to me. But which doesn't mean it's not real, but it just means I don't believe in it, But I don't know. Whenever you hear scientists make these big declarations, I just kind of shrug and go, yeah, whatever, dude. So, and especially the famous ones, those ones bother me the most.
Oh yeah, fucking yeah, I understand.
Sorry, Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I don't give a shit what you say, because more often than not, you sound like a douchebag.
Come on, man. He knows the truth.
Yeah, I guess, Whenever I hear people kissing his ass, like, oh, he's so smart, it just blows my mind. It's like, how do you know? How do you know he's smart? How do you know he's not? I'm not suggesting this.
That is not, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, how do you know he knows what the fuck he's talking about? Like, astrophysics, as near as I can tell, is largely theoretical. They're like, yeah, like it's studying, things like black holes and supernovas, stuff that they can't actually like interact with. It's just like, how do you know that they actually know what they're talking about? Like, or how much of it is just educated guesses?
Right. Well, I mean, dude, honestly, it's like any of these things. You have people who will believe wholeheartedly that a man walked the earth, that broke 3 pieces of fish into 100 and fed people and turned water into wine, rose from the dead, and can do miracles and, all this other stuff. But then you'll have other people who will believe what this guy says, that's all truth and fact and everything else, but then neither one of them want to believe the other one is right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait, you're talking about George Washington, right?
Yes, exactly. George Washington Carver.
See, like, he chopped down a cherry tree and he walked on water.
Right, exactly. It's the same dude.
No, I mean, I think a large portion of people just think the Bible is like a metaphor. You know, I mean, there are people that think everything in it's real.
Oh, of course, dude. I mean, even I don't know. Like I said, I have no problems with what you believe in. That's you guys. You know, I mean, that's cool. You guys believe what you want to believe. That's fine. As long as you guys don't give me shit for what I want to believe. If I want to believe that a 6-foot turd sits on a steep hill made of gold that praises people and only wants people to throw baby pickles at him, and that's what I want to believe in, then that's what I should be able to believe in.
Why would they throw baby pickle?
I don't know. No, baby pickles. You know, like little gurk, the sweet pickles. He likes them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's his favorite snack.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I don't fucking know, dude. I'm just saying, you know, everybody should believe what they want to believe, and everybody should not get in each other's faces because they think the other person's wrong. It's just so fucking stupid.
I can't get behind this. Like, every time somebody declares something, like every time somebody supposedly discovers something, they just go science, and they're just like, oh, okay, like it's done. And it's like, well, that's not how science works. Like, science is an ongoing exploration of the universe and how it works. And ongoing is the most important word there. Like, you can't just declare something science and then it's done. Like, that's not how anything works. You know, like, it's the further study. Like, it's a constant thing, you know, and as our knowledge pool grows, we go and re-examine things, you know, that we've already supposedly discovered.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know. That kind of stuff just bothers me. I'm not.
I completely understand. I'm
trying to talk shit about Mark because, you know, obviously I can't wait to see him, you know, fuck Gary or Gary fuck him.
Right.
You know, on episode 500.
Whichever happens, you know.
We're episode 500, Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Some good shit right there. Real quick, my band played their first show this week.
Yay!
Yeah, we played. It was really fun. We had a good time. I want to thank Phil Doty for inviting us to the show. It was good. It was good times. Homo was interesting. We ate at the Duke, which was interesting. It was good. It was very tasty. Deep fried everything. Anything you want. Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's horrible, as we've discussed.
Yes.
You end up looking up the heart attack.
I looked at some of that stuff online. I didn't actually look up the restaurant or the menu, but I did type in the heart attack thing, and it pulled up like these fucking unbelievably crazy, like grease-soaked burgers.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd probably eat it.
Wait, you would?
Oh yeah, I'd probably eat some of that shit.
I don't know. I have my limits. Like, there's a part of me that thinks, oh, that looks good. And there's the rest of me that just goes, like, I'm unhealthy, but good God. Like, sometimes you just look at something and you just go, I haven't completely given up on life. You know what I mean?
Nice.
But anyway, so.
You better not give up on life. Not yet. You got till episode 500 where we watch Gary and Mart in a gladiator match between each other's penises.
All right, then I'll give up on episode 500.
Okay.
What was it? So, you know, you had a great show. I really enjoyed watching it. It was really exciting. And, you know, I wish everyone else could have been out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Everyone could have been out there.
Yeah, I wish everybody could have been there too. But it was fun. It was a good time. It was fun. I was going to say something besides this show. I had another thing in my head and I completely lost it. That sucks. Remember, kids, if you're doing a podcast, write down everything you want to talk about.
Yeah. You had two stories. You had the woman,
right,
corpse, and then you had the
the other one I ain't really worried about. That was local stuff. I just thought it was interesting. But no, I was thinking this is what I want to bring up. So
what?
That
one.
So I just want to bring up this fucking shit with these monuments, dude. Just really fast. Now look, I'm not on any plane a fucking racist. I am not a hate monger.
I am.
But let me tell you something. I think it's utterly fucking ridiculous that people are trying to remove, there will be removed now. I mean, they passed it that they're going to be pulled down. Statues of Confederate soldiers that have been up there for a long fucking time. This is horrible. I think it's just unbelievably dumb. There are more things out there that you people need to worry about, like the family that was murdered in their house. Just the other day, an entire family, 4 people, 2 women and 2 children were fucking massacred in their fucking home. Do you think it was because of a statue? I mean, guys, honestly, there really is just more things you people need to worry about than fighting over a fucking statue. Leave the statues alone. All you're going to want to do is pull them down and put up something that suits you. And that's not right either. It's not. It doesn't make it good because you put up B. Arthur on a statue or Tony Romo or John F. Kennedy. None of that. And then changing the street names of fucking streets that have been there for years. It's just dumb, guys. I just wish everybody would fucking just stop it, leave it alone, and go about their fucking business. These fucking statues haven't hurt anybody ever since I was a little kid. They were there. I never had a problem with them. Nobody I know has ever had a problem with them. And no one's ever got hurt by them. So I don't understand the big fucking deal about this. And, I guess it's just me, man. I don't get it. I mean, do you have anything to say about it, Adam?
I mean, I just wish these niggas would learn their place.
You fucking asshole.
Actually, look, it's stupid.
It is.
This is a new thing. Like this hasn't, this wasn't around when we were kids. Like it's this whole like you gotta get rid of. It's history.
It is.
Nobody looks at Lee Circle and just goes, yeah, let's go get them niggers.
Right. Exactly.
There are some people who say stupid shit like that, but it's a smaller and smaller minority. This is a waste of time and it's a waste of money. I mean, I'm at the point where I don't give a shit. Like the rebel flag thing does kind of bother me. I don't, I guess just because I grew up with Dukes of Hazzard, I probably wouldn't give a shit if it wasn't for my love of them Duke boys.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a waste of money.
It really is.
I would be on board if they replaced Lee Circle with B. Arthur and it'd
I mean, really, dude, honestly, if they would put as much effort into education, instead of into this bullshit.
Here's the reality. And it's something that when we were younger, it was largely affecting the black community, but it's not just black people anymore. It's basically the country. The biggest epidemic today is fucking fatherless households.
Yes.
Period. Like, if you go look at the stats, like it is unbelievable how many kids are growing up without a father, particularly young boys. And that's where all this comes from. Like when you grow up in, a single parent household, like, yeah, like everybody wants to be like, yeah, single mothers. Yeah, go girl. You can do it on your own. You can't, and look, my mom was a single mother from the time I was 13, but
your father was in your life though.
Not really.
No,
not until I was in my 20s.
That's why
he was kind of, excuse me.
I was just fucking with you. I said that's why.
It's a sore spot, motherfucker. Anyway,
I know.
No, it's not. It is what it is. It's not a subject for this show, though.
Right.
He wasn't really around. I mean, you know what my saving grace was comics. Like a lot of what I learned about how to be a man and how to be a good person comes from literally superhero comics.
Well, I mean, for the most part, listen to me. For the most part, yeah, I mean, I could say the same thing almost. I mean, not 13. Mine was 19, but my dad passed away. You know what I mean? He was there. I was still trying to become a man. You know what I'm saying? Like learning these things, and he passed away.
Yeah, but a lot of that work's done when you're a kid.
Yeah.
You're not fully formed until you're about 25. Like your brain literally isn't fully formed until you're in your mid 20s. But the point is like that's what's going on in these communities, and like we can talk about education, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big proponent in like fixing the education.
Oh yeah, I know.
Education system. You will never hear anyone who's more ardently against the way the education system works in America than I am. I think it's bullshit.
That's correct.
We've got way too many like radicals and just like it doesn't matter. It's a completely different subject, but
right.
But you got too many kids that just don't fucking have parents, and they end up like doing fucked up shit, especially boys. We're all animals, men, women. We are, we are animals. But young boys in particular, I mean, God, you remember what it was like being like when you first reached puberty, where your dick was just like boing.
Yeah, you wanted to put it in everything.
It wasn't even sexual. It would just be like,
it was just there.
The fuck, it's time to go. Yep. Like it's like I'm gonna say this, and I'm not making light of it, but the fact is, it's a miracle more women don't get raped by young boys.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, because
it shows how great we are as a society, and how morally, the misuse of the word, but how morally evolved we are, that we have societal standards where that's considered unacceptable. But
right,
I mean, God, when women don't fucking know what it's like to be a 13-year-old boy. Like your body is just like, eat, kill, fuck. Like that's what it wants, and so when you have households where these young boys don't have a man around to tell them, hey, not cool, and like sort of like literally just rein them in, and and yeah, beat their ass, like it just spells trouble, and you're seeing it everywhere.
Oh yeah, for real.
These kids have no fucking values. They have no moral center, and that's, to not to get too deep, but that's why I don't believe in Jesus, like, I mean, right. I believe that a guy named Jesus existed, but
I do too.
Like, I'm not religious, but I'm a big proponent for religion because people just don't fucking get like how badly human beings need guidance and example.
Structure.
Mine was fucking Spider-Man, but like without, as a human being, without seeing something that like, okay, that's how you're supposed to behave, whether it's God, whether it's your father, whatever it is, you go looking for that. And that's how you end up like people idolizing these rappers and sports stars and shit like that. And these guys that do fucked up shit. And they're like, oh, that looks awesome. I'm going to go do fucked up shit.
Right.
How many young musicians were like, oh, Axl Rose, like he fucking tore up hotel rooms and shit, and we did all kinds of drugs, and we're gonna go do that. That's not a great way to live your life,
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
But that's what they're looking for. They're looking for like this is who this is who I need to be like, and it's a big problem. It's a big problem with the society, and you don't have to specifically hate God, but you at least have to have like strong figures, and I don't give a fuck what gender you are, whether like little girls, they need a dad too, and we need to fucking correct this shit where we have an entire society of young men who are just like, I'm gonna just put my dick in whatever, and I don't have to, I don't need to be responsible for it. Like my bitch she'll just get a check from the government.
Yeah, that's sad. Sad. I wish my bitch would get a check from the government.
Well, you're about to marry her, so that's out.
I know.
But you do get a check for the kid.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, I had a story that I need to talk about before we go.
All right.
So we have two stories that we have to talk about.
Okay.
With the other one that you wanted to talk about.
Well, I lost mine, so don't worry about it. So we'll go into yours.
Oh, it's the one that you texted me about earlier today.
I don't know. I'll look into it. Wait. What?
The one that you were going on about all morning.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's true. How stupid of me.
You want to do that first? You want to do that last?
Let's do that last. Let's hit that last one.
Okay. Sorry, folks.
That's funny.
So I don't think I've ever talked about it on this show, but I am, and this is putting it mildly, I'm a huge fan of Babylon 5.
Oh, yes, you are.
Yeah, people who are in my life kind of know that. Like, I've mentioned it.
We're in the know.
And it's a show that I don't know how to put this. Like, the simplistic way, but it sounds melodramatic, and it kind of is, putting it, is that it changed my life. You know,
that's a good way to say it.
I love that show. So the other day, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, I've probably mentioned Preston Azevedo, the artist that we know that I've been what they call a booth bitch for, which is basically
right.
When you go to a convention as an artist, usually you have an assistant that
help them out.
Yes, it handles sales and things like that. And but I've only done it for him a couple times. And the other day he had somebody else, and he was at a convention somewhere in southern Louisiana, and he posts a picture of him being fondled by an old man, and he says, "Check it out! Just met Jason Carter of Babylon 5." And so Jason Carter was he was in 3 seasons of Babylon 5. Babylon 5 around 5 seasons. And he's not my favorite character on the show.
He was the guy with the long hair.
Yeah, long black hair, yeah. He's not my favorite character on the show, but he's an important character from the show. And so just anybody that's been on that show, like, just blows my mind. Like, he met him, and I was like, oh my God, dude, that's so awesome. And I was kind of like, well, fuck, I wish I'd gone with you.
Right.
But I didn't say anything other than that, because, like, he was at it's not that surprising that he would meet, a celebrity from a old sci-fi show.
Yeah, at a convention. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it happens all the time. So I didn't think about anything other than that. And then I was at Drink and Draw last week, and a few of us are sitting downstairs, or standing downstairs, shooting the shit, talking about bullshit. And door opens, and this old dude walks in, and Fletch Boogie looks at him and says, "Oh, hey, you're looking for Preston, right?" And this gentleman with a I'll say a Shakespearean accent responds, "Yes." And he goes, "Oh, he's upstairs." So the guy walks past me. My brain's kind of assembling things in my head. And I'm like, this guy looks familiar. And then my head goes, you know this guy. And so I said, are you Jason Carter? He turns around and he goes, yeah, I'm not going to try to do the accent. like he's in this straight up Shakespearean voice says, "Yes, I am." And I was like, holy shit, and so I'm a huge fan. And he's like, "Oh, thanks. That's great." So then Preston comes down, and so Jason Carter of Babylon 5 proceeds to, like, hang out with us.
So fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, like, he's drunk. He actually asked, Preston offered him a sip of his flask, which he referred to as, like, zombie brain juice. I don't know what I don't know what was in it. I actually advised Jason Carter not to drink it because it's entirely possible he was going to butt fuck him later. But yeah, so Jason Carter's, like, really drunk and, like, well, not really drunk, but semi-drunk and, like, hanging out, and, like, John offered, he's like, had some pizza that he had ordered because they were hungry, and he was like, him and his wife, and he's like, you want a slice of pizza? And, and Jason Carter was like, absolutely. So so now Jason Carter's eating John's pizza, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, is this shit real? And
it was quite a weird situation.
Yeah, and then at some point, like, Jason Carter asked John, he's like, "Is there any more pizza?" Which I thought was kind of fucked up. I was like, I mean, hey man, it's his dinner. He was just offering you a slice. I know Johnny didn't care, but yeah, he hung out with us like literally I left before he did, and like, it's it's so strange. Like I was sitting there, and part of me was like, and you know me. I'm not sure how often you've paid attention to situations like this. It's probably not been too often in front of you. But when I'm in front of somebody that I'm trying to impress, I say stupid things. Like I'm not funny when I'm trying to be funny for people. Like I just can't be. Like, and I know that, so I try to stop myself, and I did, thankfully. I was like, I almost said I was going to make some jokes, and I was like, 'cause I want Jason Carter to like me. And I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like if you, and, so like I was just sitting there like for a while, just like listening, and I couldn't really follow. He has a very Monty Python method of speaking, and I couldn't follow all of it. So some of it I was just like, yeah, I don't know what he's saying, but the kicker was at some point I was like, would it be too fanboy for me to ask for a picture? And he didn't hear me, and I was like, oh, thank God he didn't hear me, because that would be too fanboyish.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Say, hey, dude, can I just take a picture with you? Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, but
like, don't go, hey, I want. Is this too nerdy? If I don't do that shit, dude.
Anyway, so later on, about 10 o'clock, it was time for me to leave. So I said, all right, everybody, I got to go. And I walked over to him because I didn't want it to be weird. And I was like, Mr. Carter, it was nice to meet you. He was like, oh, you too. And then he goes, do you ride a bike? And I was like, yeah, I ride a motorcycle, And he was like, oh, okay, and I think he was trying to ask me if I would give him a ride home, because his car was, he told us earlier tonight his engine, the timing belt had broken and it fucked up his engine. And I didn't realize until later. I was like, I wonder if that's what he was trying to say, but he didn't just ask.
Yeah, you should have just said, dude, you need a ride?
Well, Preston had offered to give him a ride home earlier.
Oh, okay.
He might have been implying like he didn't want to stay any longer, because he had this old woman that was kind of hitting on him. She was really weird. She was kind of hitting on him. And
so were you at that point?
Yeah, I would have sucked his dick.
No.
I'd have cradled the balls. Anyway, so so that was kind of awkward, and I started to walk away, and Preston was like, dude. And I was like, what? He's like, Jason, Adam really wants to take a picture with you, and he's just too embarrassed. And I was like, yeah. Like I wanted to be like, hey, dude, like he's just fucking with you. But I wanted the picture.
You're like, yeah, dude, I do. I'm sorry.
And the funny part was like he pulls out his phone. I was like, why don't you just use my phone? And he's just like, the picture's gonna look the same. You won't look any better. I was like, all right. Like, I'm taking a picture with Jason Carter. That's cool. So he takes the picture. That motherfucker never gave me the picture.
That is perfect.
Actually, I'm bullshit. He gave it to me yesterday, but it took 3 or 4 days. But
nice.
But like I say all that just because like there's certain things in life that you don't expect. Like, right. I've talked before about Travis Hemel and Tim Laddie, drawing us in comic books. And, I grew up a comic book fan, and it's
incredible.
Yeah. Growing up being a huge comic book fan like me, there's never a day where you think to yourself, one day I'm going to know artists.
And they're going to put me in a book.
Right. Like that just doesn't, there's no reason why you would even think that. Like that's not even a possibility in your mind. And at the same time, watching this show that really shaped me in a lot of ways, particularly as in terms of how I view writing, and even like some of the religious implications of it, I kind of like sort of believe, like not totally, but I like to think about.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't occur like one day this guy. Oh, perfect example. How sometimes when you ask me to test out the mic, I'll start singing, I am the very model of a modern Major General of information animal. So that's a Gilbert and Sullivan song,
right?
Called Modern Major General. I've never actually listened to Gilbert and Sullivan. That's Jason Carter from an episode of Babylon 5 where he's trying to annoy Richard Biggs' character, Dr. Franklin.
Wow.
That's what that is. That's how much that affects me. And every time I've sang that on the show, not once did I think, one day that guy's going to be eating John's pizza.
Right.
Sounds way grosser than it should be. Anyway.
Well, speaking of weird incidences, we're going to finish this show with a weird incident that happened to the show, actually. So I log into our Twitter account today, and all of a sudden this banner comes across the front of the Twitter going, "You have been blocked." And I'm going, who the fuck would block us? Why would somebody block us? It's not like we're, constantly talking to other, other people or anything like that. We just post our shows and stuff like that normally. And so come to find out, we are too extreme. We are too dangerous for the likes of Mr. Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby blocked us on Twitter.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if it was Bill Cosby or if it was his people, but I tell you what, if a gentleman who date rapes people, supposedly, can't take what we do, then there's a problem.
It's not technically date rape. It's just rape.
It's whatever. It's one of those rapes.
I'm just fucking with you. It is, but, so... Okay, so you weren't trying to tweet at Bill Cosby to get him on the show then?
Fuck no.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, we do talk about him, but I mean, I've often said as much as I hate everything he did, and I think he's a horrible human being. He's still a comedy god, and a lot of the, let's be honest, there's a large percentage of American males in our age range whose morals and values were partially shaped by the fucking Cosby Show.
A whole lot.
He was America's dad. The kids of today won't remember that, but he was America's dad. He was a fucking hero, as far as many of us were concerned. So I hate what he did, but I don't know. Charles Manson, I'm fucking kill him,
Hey, man, leave Charlie out of this fucking shit. He didn't do a goddamn thing. He told these people to do something, and they were stupid enough to do it.
I wish I had that power.
But anyway.
You know what I'd do if I had that power?
What's that?
Bitch, go get me a sandwich. And suck my dick.
So, there you go.
Wayne, would you go get me a sandwich?
No.
And suck my dick?
Neither. Oh, we are the most dangerous because not even Bill Cosby can listen to us.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So, anyway,
Bill Cosby blocked us?
Yes. He blocked us permanently.
Getting to work on that artwork right away.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's going to be all over the fucking place. Well, thank you guys for joining us. This is the end of the show. We appreciate it. This is number 350.
Oh, we may or may not have a Love Doctor segment immediately airing after this.
We might. Well, it depends on if the Love Doctor decides to call in. So we'll see. But all right, guys. Well, I was your host, Wayne.
And I'm Sick Rick.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to keep it roofing.
Did you say Rudy? You say Rudy?
Whatever.
Freaks to the metal-handed God. Metal-handed God. I'd like to welcome all you freaks to the metal-handed God. With some nerves, with the urge, the purge, or some ride. Show him the dick print, then hit him with the rod. The Love Doctor tell you how to get the Ichabod. Crane, Adam Rowe, Kyle, Wayne. How do they maintain when they clinically insane? We keep it so metal that we speaking your refrain. Adam's story's got a point, and if you let him explain, here's the pun of all puns, get a plan with Papa Wayne. Rum tapping the vein, and I'm minutes bringing pain. MHOG secreting, leaving a stain. You ain't as dope as us, bitch. Stay in your lane. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Oh yeah!
That's it.